Hello everyone, welcome back to Hidden Image Limited, and welcome back to the reaction / review of not Jar Wobble's betrayal of Metal Box by Public Image Limited, or Metal One as it says on the back. It's not called Metal One, it's called Metal Box. And I love the title because Metal Box suits the album as a title, but it's not really a box, is it? It's not a cube. It's like a circle. I don't know what you'd call it, but it's a circle shape. It's more like a metal canister. But whatever, nitpicking aside, I don't actually even think the album was given a name upon release. It was called Metal Box because the company that created these tins was called Metal Box, so the album got called Metal Box. That's what I've heard. I'm not sure if it's true. It could just be a rumour. But yeah. So, next up, opening disc 3 of the album is The Suit, a song that I covered. Let's get into it. I just love this song. In a different way to what I love the other songs. This one's just so fun to play on bass. So I will.
It is your character, deep in your nature. Take one example, sample and hold. Romance and replace, black in yourself. It is your nature. It is your nature. We see you climbing, improving the effort. Wearing high suit, it is your character. There is a limit over your shoulder. Everyone loves you until they know you.
This bass is
You are
out of tune.
champion of strangers. Standing around all the right people. Crawling. Tennis on Tuesday. The ladder is long. It is your nature.
We will deal with it.
You got a suntan, football on Sunday, society boy on social security.
Yeah, the out of tuneness is just ruining it.
Tennis on Tuesday, sipping champagne, football on Sunday, I'm on a train, it is your nature.
Alright, I was just trying to remember it then.
Said you were
So I haven't played it in a while.
nice suit. The ladder is long.
This is my job. Anyway, this song Keith Levine hates because he hates John Lydon's lyrics. They're basically about, I think they're just about like an exec or something like that where they worked. Keith liked the guy, John Lydon didn't. John wrote the lyrics, so yeah, really fun song. I've lost my fucking marbles, haven't I? You will never see another reaction channel. Well, not a reaction channel, but a reaction video where the guy just goes and gets a bass just because he likes the bass line of a song. Yeah, that song for me is, it's not a bad song. I mean, I love the song. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I mean, I love the song, but I think it doesn't hold up to some of the earlier tracks. It's certainly a lot better than Graveyard. It's even better than Another, which is the version with vocals. So, yeah, that's just how I feel about that song. Amazing bass line, even though I'm playing it in 450 Hz or something like that. That's it. Yeah, sorry I'm a lunatic. I just can't help it. So, here we go. Next track. Oh, it's got another good bass line. This is Bad Baby. I'm sorry, I just get so excited about this record. Bad Baby. Martin Atkins on drums. This was actually his audition into the band. Crazy. Can you imagine auditioning for a band? They record the audition and put it on their best record. Mental. But really interesting. It's the sort of thing that PiL does. This song is actually about Keith Levine. Pretty cool. At least that's what Keith says. Everyone knows I love this track. I'm a sucker for Bad Baby. I just really love the bass on this one. Don't start again. Just be a second. My sister's just come home from school, so she shouted at me. So this song, Keith Levine's playing a synthesizer. Obviously, it's very krautrocky. The synth playing on here is sort of freestyled. He knows what notes he's playing, but it's sort of freestyles. Not crazy playing like that. You obviously know what I mean, but I think the standout for this track is Jar Wobble and Martin Atkins are a force to be reckoned with. It's a shame they didn't really do anything. I mean, Martin Atkins plays on Jar Wobble's debut record on 2 of the tracks, but yeah, I just really love the bass. And the live renditions, which they've never done, I don't think, since Jar left. The live renditions are just so superb. Keith plays guitar on the live version, and if you listen to any live video of it or my cover of it, I incorporated it because it sounds so good, and I kind of wish it was on the album version. It's on this version, but the bass line's slightly different here. I don't like my cover of it. I'm thinking about redoing it because I don't think the tones are perfect. Bass is too slappy in a way. There's no tone to this at all, and that's what makes it so damn good. I love that it just becomes sort of a freestyle with Jar Wobble and Martin Atkins, with John randomly saying stuff. comes almost like a live track in a sense with that. I am sorry that I keep going off camera and off on camera, by the way. It's a really awkward time. It's 3 o'clock as I'm filming this. My brother and my sister are gonna be home from school and all that sort of jazz. So, there's Bad Baby. Now, Bad Baby used to be a 10 out of 10 for me. I am gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Just because I realise now listening to it and talking, because I usually just listen to it. But if, like, I've got it on and I'm talking about what's happening, of course I had to go down during that song. The ones that could get me are like pop tones and careering. Bad Baby would have been a 10, but it's not a 10 really, is it? I mean, it's immense. It's one of my favourites, but I love the bass line, and maybe live it'd be a 10 out of 10, but it didn't get me talking as much. So I realise maybe a 10 was a bit generous. I'm dropping it to a 9, but I don't think any less of it. I think it's crucially underrated, and I really wish PiL had played it live, but you know, they're not gonna, so there's no reason wishing for that. We're on the final side now. Final stretch of the album. 3 tracks. They're all connected on the Metal Box version of the album. And I'm thinking, when I cover these tracks, do you want me to make it one big song? As if it's a prog song? Socialist, Chant and Radio 4. Do you want me to make it one big adventure? Or do you want me to keep it like how it is on the actual album, where it's 3 songs that say they're connected, but they're really not? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let's start this Socialist. Sorry, there we go. It's evident on this song, but it happens on most of the songs, but you can really tell on this song that the hi-hat, it has phase on it. I'm not too sure whether they put phase on the hi-hat channel or whether they didn't mic the drum kit properly, and there's genuine phase going on, really strong phase on this song. I love it. I think it sounds great. It sounds to me that they put the phase on intentionally. I don't feel like they could do. I don't think they'd mic it up incorrectly. On drums here, you can always sort of tell he has like a very cool style. I have a live album which is it might be from the Factory or something. Richard Dudansky's first performance with the band, and he learns their songs in like a few minutes. It's really cool. I like this song. I like the synthesizer Levine is playing. It's another instrumental. Say though, because it's an instrumental, there's just not much to say. the madness of this song in terms of the bass. Well, played the bass on this album for pretty much all the tracks, but I just mean that song relies a lot on the bass, so that's why I'm showing you him. It's a very strong song on bass, so sorry if you didn't understand. Yeah, I give Socialist a 7 out of 10 personally. I don't think it's as good as Bad Baby or The Suit, but it's still still all around a decent track. Yeah, not much to say on that. You know, it's just an instrumental. I mean, I'm not gonna say, oh, it's just an instrumental. No, it is a good track. I just mean there's just not much to talk about. It's not got lyrics that have in-depth meaning. It's just a cool one. So, next up, we have Chant. The Dansky on drums again. Listen to that guitar, it's nasty. You may have noticed, it's so cool. There's well, it's not a sample. I think it's Wobble saying it. And he's going, mob, war, feel, hype, mob, war, feel, hype, mob, war, feel, hype, mob, war, feel, hype, in the background, and yeah, it's just, it's intense. That on top of Lydon's lyrics about rioting and protesting, and it's another one that's really cool lyrics. Really does take me to this era, side of London that the tourists never see. Angle ambience. I'm gonna look at this actually. Yeah, angle ambience, yeah. The guitar is so noisy and sporadic. It's structured. The bass really holds it. The drums do too. It's intense. The guitar, clangy, metallic, angry. Way more emotion than punk, than indie, than alternative. It just makes you want to go out and beat someone up because it's noise rock. It's not noise rock, but it's like it's planting the seed for noise rock music that might come in the future, like Big Black and other bands. They still play this live. Different lineup, of course. I still think they're good at it. I don't think they're as good as this era because the tones. You can't replicate Levine's guitar tone. And you can't really replicate Jar Wobble's bass either. The rhythm's changed here. Feel hype, mob, war, 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 feel hype, mob, war. Chant. I love how it. It sounds like modern John there to me, like with how raspy his vocals get. I would have loved if Sex Pistols era John sang this. It would be like chant, chant, chant. It'd be even more intense. There's Chant, and well, come on, 10 out of 10, man. It's like, how could it be anything but a 10 out of 10? For me, I really love that track. One version that I do adore is the live version. I don't know what it's on, but the one where they walk out of the interview because the interviewers are just being dickheads. The version on that, I absolutely love. Keith Levine's wedge is just so interesting to look at compared to every other guitar that you see on the market. And yeah, it's just an amazing version. Every version live that I've heard of this song I have enjoyed, even modern versions. I know a lot of people discard PiL after this era. I don't. I think they're still pretty good to this day. Especially the newest lineup and the newest two albums I'm really fond of. But yeah, this one, it's hard to replicate without Levine. Yeah, it's hard. There's no guitarist like him. He does these really big stretches on the guitar. He has a Travis Bean wedge, and that essentially is like a flying V. You could really get high without it being an issue compared to most other guitars, because there's nothing in the way. It's just a square, like a sort of triangle shape. Crazy song, crazy guitar work. The bass really boomy. It's a difficult listen, but I love that track. I love it, and I think that's my favourite song on the album. Chant and Pop Tones probably matched. Yeah, so closing the album now, we go into Radio 4. Now I just want to say, Keith Levine did everything on this song. The drums, the synth, and the bass. It's very cool, and really good at it as well. There's alternate versions out there which aren't as good because he plays drums on it. I mean, there's drums on this version at the start, but I mean all the way through it, and it's not as good. It really suits this ambient sort of, it's not ambient, but this atmosphere. This one's immense. It makes you reflect. This album's an hour long. We've sat here for an hour, over an hour, us guys and girls, and just enjoyed it. We've reflected 70s England. It's depressing, it's gloomy, but it's timeless. This album still should matter to this very day. Sure, it's not as political as punk, but there's emotion. And as the late, great Pete Shelley said, there's nothing more political than love. And love, to me, I would say that's the strongest emotion. So there's nothing more political than writing about emotions. And this track I think I saw this on a YouTube comment, but it just cements it perfectly. It's like a calm after the storm. Chant is dissonant, freaky, aggressive. Radio 4, just relax. Everything will be okay. When I hear this, especially putting myself in the mindset of someone from this era, a teenager, a young adult, you know, it's all going to be okay. There is hope. Everything will be better. And I'm not saying that they were going through horrible stuff back in those days. There's worse stuff happening now, I'm sure we all know. But it's just a good song, good closing track that represents a good feeling of hope. I adore it. Absolutely, I just adore this whole album. But Chant going into Radio 4 is the perfect closing ever. Yeah, there's not much more to say, really. I also forgot to get a drink before recording these videos, so my throat is killing me. I've only had coffee today, which doesn't actually energise me. That's not why I've been sort of up and down. Yeah. This bit here, it makes me feel a bit on edge. It's like, yes, there's hope, but it's not going to be perfect, and it's not gonna. The badness isn't gonna stop, even when we have hope. That's me interpreting that song. I just love this record. I mean, come on, everyone. It's a masterpiece, absolute masterpiece. When I first heard it, I hated it. I don't know what was wrong with me. Like, I can understand not liking first issue. I can understand not liking this. But I hope that I've hyped it up to anyone who's listening that doesn't like it. Because it's an album with emotion, with feel, with talent. And for PiL, in my opinion, even though I enjoy pretty much all PiL albums, unlike probably a lot of viewers of this channel, for me it doesn't get better than this. This album is the best PiL album, one of my favourite albums of all time. It's probably the album that I can get the most excited about. I consider Absolutely by Madness my favourite album of all time. Total different shift because it's just nutty and fun. But I consider that my favourite just because of sentimental value, and it makes me happy when I listen to that album. But this one's probably the one that I can go back to and just feel. I hope one day I can make an album this good, but I highly doubt it. So there's Metal Box / 2nd edition by PiL. I've got to look up a calculator now because we need to add up the scores that I gave every song. I forgot to mention Radio 4 I give a 9 out of 10. Sure, the other instrumentals on the album I have more to them, but Radio 4 is emotional and I love it. And yeah, so let's get a calculator up. And so Albatross is a 9 for me. Memories was a 9. Death Disco was a 9. Pop Tones was a 10. Careering was a 10. No Birds Do Sing was a 9. And then Graveyard was a 6. The Suit was an 8. Bad Baby was a 9. Socialist was a 7. Chant was a 10. And Radio 4 was a 9. So overall we have 12 tracks. That is 105 out of 120. That's the rating it got. I mean, to me, it should be 120 out of 120. I just love this record. It's so consistent. I mean, people love Nevermind the Bollocks, and they give John Lydon a lot of credit for that. But this wipes its ass with Nevermind the Bollocks. It's so much better. Leagues ahead. I think they're both 10 out of 10 albums, but this one's just leagues better. I love Nevermind the Bollocks. I'm not criticising it. I do sincerely love that album, but I just wish that PiL got the recognition they deserved. I wish that things turned out better for the band in terms of this lineup, because there was so much more they could have done, and it would have been amazing. Continuing with Martin Atkins, Jar Wobble on bass, Keith Levine on guitar, maybe getting someone in to play synth. I don't know. I mean, I love pretty much every era of PiL. I like Album, I love Happy, and the newest album, What the World Needs Now, I do really like as well. But come on, Metal Box, when I do my ranking video, expect to see this at number 1. Hope you enjoyed this series. Again, I'll see you next time for Flowers of Romance. Leave your ratings of every track in the comments below. This has been a long one. And yeah, thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time.